I'm Robert Boo. I'm CEO of the Pride Center at Equality Park here in Wilton, Manors, Florida.
And I'm Gary Blocker. I'm the Assistant Chief of Police of the Wilton Manors Police Department, where we serve about 13,000 residents. I've been here for 21 years serving our great city, and also a past student and graduate of the FBI's National Academy, the 263rd session. Understanding we're small, we have 52 employees, 35 of those sworn. And although we may not have a lot of specialized resources, we strive each and every day to provide a level of service that's superior. And even though we may not have those resources, we look to the Pride Center and organizations like you in order to provide those resources and services to the members of our community who need those services, who we try to assist them and point them in the right direction so they can improve their quality of life. And it is comforting to our agency and our Chief of Police, Paul O'Connell, that when we do seek your advice, we do point residents or those in need to the Pride Center, that they're in good hands.
I think the real success to our particular relationship is we built the base prior to any type of an incident or an accident or a major catastrophe, but we had a very strong base beforehand, multiple years of working together. And so when there is that time of need, I feel very comfortable calling you. I also trust the advice and guidance that you're giving us. And the first example I can think of is right after the Pulse nightclub, we hosted Wicked Manors, and it just happened to be on a Saturday night. And so our cost for security, because this is a block party, it's a street-wide party, it's very porous, there's really no way we could gate it off or have just in a very secured location. It's an open space, and our security presence tripled over previous years. And although it was very alarming on a cost basis, it was very comforting to know that the 30,000 people that were going to be on the streets with the undercover and the uniformed police and the rooftop police and all the barricades that were going up into the street, it made the entire event feel very safe, and yet afforded us the ability to come together, to celebrate, to have fun, but do so where we weren't always wondering, was something going to happen? And so I really do appreciate, again, all the support and the working relationship that we've had. So I've been asked, I'm part of, the Pride Center is part of a larger organization called CenterLink, and it's the National Association of LGBT Community Centers. And so I do have the opportunity to talk to my peers at other centers about security, because we're all worried about being impacted by hate crimes, and we know that we're porous at a lot of our events because they're outdoor and street events. And so my coaching to them is always the same. Establish a great working relationship when everything is fine. Work together when there's no need to have to force any type of a relationship, but get to know everyone and get to working together, so that way when the time does come, they know you're not crying wolf, and I know that when I call, the Wilton Manors Police Department is going to respond.
That's the fundamental foundation of maintaining relationships. And one thing I wanted to speak about today is, as law enforcement, a good practice is we always have to strive to build, enhance, and repair relationships with the community. And if we strive each and every day, not just through the leaders of our police department, but using and building the culture downstairs with our frontline officers, our frontline employees, and using them as ambassadors out there in our community. And some of our greatest allies today were not our allies 3-4 years ago, because there was a time where we saw a lot of property crimes. And through community meetings, we met with them and they voiced their displeasure. And I've had folks ask me, well, wouldn't it be easier for you just to kind of shut the door on them and go find somebody who supports you? And I said, that wasn't an option. You know, we didn't get into law enforcement for our profession or our jobs or our tasks to be easy. I took that as a challenge, as did our leadership. And we put forth the effort to continue to engage the community, continue to let them know how we were going to respond to their needs, their concerns. But we also took the opportunity to listen to them and assess our operations to see where we could make some improvements, some enhancements, and be a little bit more transparent to them, to educate them on what we are doing for them and show. We can talk about it, but I always say, I don't want to just talk about it. I want to show our residents the proof's in the pudding. And one way we do that is, actually this Thursday, we're getting ready to start our 4th annual Citizens Police Academy, where we invite 18 of our residents or our business people into our police station. And we provide them a 10-week, I call it a snapshot of what we do. And we teach them about criminal investigations. We teach them that you may not be able to identify somebody via DNA in 5 minutes as you may see on television. And we try to let them understand the misperceptions that sometimes they see in the media or on TV. And we show them the realities of law enforcement. We show them our officers are passionate in what they do. And they're guys and gals, just like you and I. Outside of the uniforms, they have families, they have loved ones that they go home to, and they're out there protecting our community. But it's those relationships that I think I appreciate more, that maybe a couple of years ago, those folks weren't our allies. And hey, they were upset and we understood it, but we also listened to them and we never gave up. And now they're our allies. You know, it's unfortunate we still do have some of those in our community that, you know, we just don't have good working relationships with. But we are committed as a police department and as a city to continue to listen to whoever is talking, to assess the level of service that we provide, and we want to recapture their trust. And I think we are a unique example and an example to a lot of communities and a lot of leaders. Just the collaboration between the Pride Center and the police department and the city, you know, we're able to accomplish a lot of what we want to accomplish. You from the Pride Center, us in the avenue of public safety, services provided to the members of our community. You provide an array of services here that I walk in today and there's several individuals utilizing your services. And the positive comments that we hear from our residents about what you provide them, how you've assisted them, and the professionalism that you all have provided and exhibited is amazing. And I believe it is just that unique situation. But like you said, we are prepared for a crisis. We continue our positive working relationship. And like you say, you never want to go into a crisis not knowing somebody's name, because the first crisis you and I or our police department and the Pride Center may come across, we're going to be at a table and we're going to know each other's names. Mm-hmm. And we're going to resolve this conflict or crisis, and we're going to come out a better organization, a better agency, and a better community should we face a crisis.
Well, it was right after the Las Vegas incident, and I immediately called you and I said, okay, how is this going to impact us? What do we need to do? Because it was right before our Wicked Manors event. So I didn't wait for you to call me. I just knew, all right, this incident happened. It's going to affect us. What do we need to do?
And what was the answer?
You said it would not cost us any more because you were going to be taking care of all of those extra procedures.
Yes, and in law enforcement, we like to, I like to plan for worst case scenario. If we plan for worst case scenario, we have our resources on site to address issues. The problems with law enforcement is if we don't plan for worst case scenario, we're put in a vulnerable position. And you plan for the worst, we hope for the best. We've had some great events, and we look forward to many in the future.
With 0 incidents.
Yes, sir. You know what, I believe leaders need to build a culture within their agencies, within their police departments, building pride for your community. And if you go out there and you have pride for the community you serve, for the residents and the business owners and the people in your community that you serve, you're going to be self-motivated to go out there and interact with the members of your community. You're going to go out there and identify the criminal element and remove that criminal element. You're always going to endeavor and strive and motivate yourself and others around you to go out there and improve the quality of life for the members of our community. You know what, I talked earlier about not in my backyard, and that's the pride I'm talking about. If a crime ever happened on my shift, it wasn't easy for me, and I'd never said, you know what, I can't be at every place every minute of my shift. It was always I lost, and I try to find a better way to do it. I try to find to be in the right place at the right time. Yes, I always worked hard, but still I got beat. You know, if a crime's happening in my zone, I got beat. And we try to build that culture within our police department of that winning attitude, always doing what we need as law enforcement in order to protect our residents, build community, and make Wilton Manors a safer, better place.